So the king of iPhone clones is back. Goophone actually just dropped a new version of their iPhone 10 replica. They call it the Goophone i10 version 5. There have already been 5 versions, and it costs $130 to $150, $160, depending on how you spec it. Yes, you can spec it with Face ID, wireless charging, and get this, it actually has a notch. You can get a version now that looks almost identical to the iPhone 10, both in text, logos, and the notch now. So I want to take a look at this, see how close they got. And this is definitely the closest iPhone 10 replica. I mean, it's trying to be an iPhone. It's trying to fool people into thinking it's an iPhone. Let's see how close they got. Now, not only does this company, reproduce the actual physical stuff, the fun thing is they try and reproduce the software as well. So let's see how that is. iOS 11 through the eyes of these manufacturers. These videos are always a lot of fun just to see how close they can get. So first thing we're gonna do is compare the boxes. Usually they try and reproduce those as well, but there are some discrepancies. Let's see if this new version actually looks like the real deal. Straight out of the box, you can see there are Apple logos. And let's see if the quality of the box has improved at all. So there's the box. Honestly, it looks a little bit fishy. I mean, if you don't have the real box next to you, it's hard to tell, but the colors are faded. They're not so sharp. On the back, the text is a little off. The fonts just aren't that great. I don't know what it is, but next to the real deal, you can tell, I mean, it is looking just a little bit different. It does have the time rights, the wallpapers, and the actual phone now sticks out of the package. So much like Apple's, it has a little surface on the picture. This one does as well. So if it comes without one of those green pull tabs, then pretty much the box is fake already. Oh wow, now they have an actual little booklet without stickers, with a welcome to iPhone Face ID. I think I've seen that before. Still presented in a very ugly manner inside. A little baggy. Apple does not seal theirs in baggies. So here is that iPhone. On the back, looks pretty similar to a real one. Let me bring that over here. So the color's a little bit off. It doesn't have that finish. If you actually twirl it in the light, this one has a little chromatic look to it. This one does not. It's a flat silver. The text is close, but something is off about it. On the side, we have the same button placement. Oh, what is this? SIM card tray is a different shade of silver than the actual body. Huh, it's kind of off. On the bottom, we have our ports. The fake one doesn't have the trim inside. So as for the actual body, it looks good. Very, very similar. Let's power it on and check that screen out. KK concept. That is new. Never seen that before. Oh, what the heck is that? All right. Well, they just gave it away completely. If you were in doubt that this was a clone, you just turned it on. Obviously, Apple's doesn't have KK concept on it. Kind of disappointed they gave it away so early. Android is starting. Okay, and right away, we're greeted with the iPhone experience. How cool is that? Let's swipe to unlock. Oh, that's kind of fishy. Okay, so this is running some weird version of iOS 11 apparently. Let's go back to the lock screen. And it has the iPhone 2G lock sound. Oh my gosh, did you guys hear that? That's hilarious. Apple hasn't had that since when? I don't even remember. iOS 6? Oh my goodness. So it does not turn on just by tapping the screen, unfortunately, but it does have the swipe to unlock. Okay. Yeah, you can definitely tell just by using this thing for a minute that it is not genuine. And let's see, we've got the camera button here. So you hold it like 3D touch in order to activate it. That's pretty cool. They've got some sort of 3D touch effect on these buttons, which is interesting. It is locked right now. Status bar is pretty cool. So compared to the real deal, look at that notch. That looks very, very close. I'm impressed. They got the placement of the text off a little bit. I mean, if I was in charge of this company, I would know how to make a good fake, I think. It's all those little details that people pay attention to. But anyways, I think that's pretty dang nice. Actually jumping into the phone. So this is the control center on both. Let's see if we can actually get into these toggles here. Oh, you can. Kind of off a little. Looks pretty old, but you do get the music toggle here and this one. Cool. And I just want to take a moment to say how impressed I am that they actually managed to install a notch on this clone, and it matches Apple's 1-to-1. It looks so dang good. Because, I just remembered for a moment, we used to talk about this thing before it came out for an entire year, how crazy and futuristic this concept was, and now they have it on a $130 clone. That is just kind of funny to me. This is an LCD, it's not an organic LED, so you're not going to get the benefits of that, but they're still able to go around and cut it out up top. Of course, probably
probably not fully functional Face ID, as it does not have the 3D mapping. We'll take a look at that in a second. It's just so cool that you get this here. On the bottom, the chins are of course a little bit different. You have a little bit more area down here. But still, it is not bad at all. That is crazy how close it is to the iPhone 10. And you know, it's like $800, $900 off from the official price. Anyways, let's jump into the software, check out what it's running here. 11.2, well, this one is updated. I'm sure the next version will be on 11.3 or 11.4. Okay, so it does have the very similar menu. You can swipe back. That is quite responsive. Cool. Let's jump into Face ID and see what that's like to set up. Yeah, the icon here is the old one before Apple updated it. And so add a Face ID, is that what they call it? Oh my gosh, it's scanning the camera. The camera's gonna unlock my phone right now. All right, cool. Okay, I'm gonna try myself. It just paused. Okay, there we go. So it's a blend between my camera lens and my face. Let's see how it works here. And here's a demo of Face ID. So from the lock screen, I'm gonna look at my phone. Oh, there it is, no animation, but the lock does pop open. And you can go ahead and lock your phone. Let's see how this works. So I'm literally just gonna pop this in front of here. And let's see if we can, oh my gosh, we just got through this multi-million-dollar security system on this phone with a picture. How cool is that? Let's try my buddy's face over here. So I zoomed in on that and see if that works. Oh, it's vibrating, telling me that it can't. I'm gonna try it once more. That'd be so funny if this actually worked. Nope, it's vibrating saying it can't. So I just tried to do the multitasking gesture and I froze the phone. I lock it, come back, and it's in the exact same spot. I'm not sure what I did here. And while that's restarting, I made an observation. The reason this thing feels so premium is that it's actually made of similar materials. Well, close anyways. The back is real glass, the front is real glass, and the side is actually metal. So you're getting a very similar experience here with the real deal. So it feels really good in your hand. I mean, it's the exact same size as the real deal. So for $130, I am so impressed. This is the best value for the clone I've ever seen, actually. So it appears that I actually bricked this thing in a way. I don't know how it happened. I was just using it normally, but I cannot leave any application. I can reset the phone, open up a new application, but every single time I do that, it does not let me go back home to the home screen. So I'm just stuck. This is so dumb, seriously. Good thing I have another one though. So let's open this one up and see if I can get this one to work proper. Okay, I finally got this thing to work. I downloaded the app. So let's go ahead and see what this is actually running. I'm not sure why this thing is going crazy when using the app switcher, but I'm gonna try to avoid that. So Android 7.0, I'd be very surprised if that was true, but let's run a benchmark, see where it's at. Oh hey, the app switcher actually works on this one pretty decently, and you can just swipe up to kill apps. So this clone has a feature that Apple's iPhone 10 doesn't even have, which is kind of cool. So I'm gonna restart Geekbench because it froze on me. And this is the score that I got. It's pretty consistent with most clones, about 1/10 of the score of Apple's. You are paying about 1/10 of the price. So that's a pretty evenly distributed cost savings there. Android 7.0, Apple A11. Yeah, right. So pretty much what you'd expect from a clone like this. And the performance definitely does reflect that. I mean, this is one of the worst performing clones I've actually tested. I don't know why. It's barely fluid. Everything takes so long. It's kind of laggy. App switcher kind of works on this one though. I mean, it's bugged to crap, but hopefully an update in the future does make this thing a little bit more responsive. I also did get an Antutu here, and a score of 21,000 is pretty much fair. Again, 1/10 of the score of the iPhone 10, so that pretty much scales down with the price as well. So kind of cool. That is as for the performance. Let's go ahead and do a camera test here real quick, then we'll do wireless charging and take a look on the inside. All right, so I'm outside, and I gotta say this screen is quite vivid. I am very impressed with the quality and brightness of it. Now, moving shots are no good, standing no good. This camera is no different from any other I've tested on the clones. So anything but optimal light is gonna look bad and blurred, that motion blur. Yeah, so not too great. I mean, 480p at best here. Terrible aspect ratio on this one, very dark, washed out. I'm really not liking what I'm seeing here. Again, this is definitely not the quality of the iPhone 10s, nowhere near it. Pretty much in line with anything I'd see on any other clone. So there it is, front-facing camera, pretty horrid. Okay, let's give wireless charging a spin here. So setting it down, no response. Oh, there we go. So it has to be in a very particular manner here, right on the dot. Okay, it just activated, but it does work. I can see it does begin to charge, so cool. And lastly, being the sophisticated build that it is, I'd like to see what's on the inside here. You have to heat it beforehand. Oh, Yeah, I just cracked it. It is so dang brittle on the back. Oh, and there we go. Whoops. And here is the inside after some ungentle prying. Okay, so we got a very tiny wireless charging pad. That explains why it has to be in a very particular manner. Quite clean interior, and they're going off of Apple's style of the logic board. It's off to the side here. On the Galaxy fakes, they're usually just in one section. So kind of cool that they're consistent with that. One speaker here on the bottom, definitely not a dual speaker, and a micro SD card slot if you want to upgrade your storage. Pretty clean inside, so nothing really exciting to see, but I'm very impressed with this clone in general. The build quality is quite nice. Okay guys, so there it is, the iPhone 10 replica, the best version I've tested yet. The notch is surprisingly good, and it's a real one. They're not just covering up part of the screen. There is no screen there whatsoever. So this is definitely a very good clone. And for $130, you know, it's not bad for what you get. Make a good gift to maybe a kid or something that wants to look like he has an expensive iPhone. I don't know. I would definitely not like to use this on a daily basis. It is quite frustrating, not the most intuitive process, and I mean, it tries to copy the iPhone in many ways, but the best thing about an iPhone is how refined and smooth it is, and this thing definitely does not have that. Other than that, beautiful screen, terrible cameras, otherwise good build quality. So thanks for watching guys, that's the best version. Let's see what's to come in the future. Peace.